Hi, my name is David and welcome back to another video on the channel. As you know, if you follow us along, we do lots of videos on how to personalize textiles, mugs, using our versatile white toner cartridges, white toner printers and our transfer media. So today's video I'm going to take you along some steps that you can do to speed up your printing game to just get t-shirts done quicker. You know that for the transfer onto textiles, especially dark textiles, but also light, we use our white toner printers. As in this video today, I'm going to use Mini Ghost and our laser dark transfer media, which is a two-step transfer media with the A foil, where we're actually going to create the transfer sheet by printing on it using our white and color toner cartridges, and the B sheet, where we're actually going to take it to the heat press and press these two together. If you want to have an in-depth look onto the settings that we use to do this process, I really like you to check out one of the videos that is linked in the info and in the description below, because we've got plenty of videos showing you how to do this process. In today's video, I'd like to take you along something that you can do to speed up your printing game. Usually, the printing goes really quick. You will just see that in a minute when I have my printer print some transfer sheets, as I've already done before the video. So I've got multiple different designs here printed already for us to transfer. So let's say I have multiple jobs to do, and you know, if you've watched one of our other videos, that pressing A and B together does take 90 seconds. Then you do separate it, and then you go back to the heat press and press it to your textile. So in today's video, we're going to show you how you can stack A and Bs and how you can actually do 4 or 5 of them together at the same time, or even more, so that you just speed up your printing game instead of pressing and peeling one at a time, always having to wait 90 seconds. You can do multiple ones at a time, just speed up your printing game a little bit. But before we show you that, I'm just quickly going to run a few more prints for us. So as you know, with printing, I've got my design here on the screen. We always print from PDF files, which is the most versatile file format. For designing, we use Canva, Photoshop, InDesign. You can use whatever software you like. So with this Mini Ghost printer and with the A foil and B paper, we're going to print in mirror image mode. So the printing side of the A foil is actually the matte side, and we print in mirror image mode because that side is what finally goes to the garment. So I just quickly have a few more print jobs going. For settings I just choose grayscale printing for sole white designs, and I choose color printing for designs that do have color and white, and I do set my paper to heavy paper. It's a good paper type for that Mini Ghost printer. Alright, as you can see, I've got many printouts here on the A foil, and I've got, of course, some B paper. The B paper is easily recognized by the yellow lines on the back, which is the side that you want to have face up, and the other side contains the coating. So usually I will take one of my A foils, place it on my heat press, back it up with the B paper and then press. Today we're going to do a little different, but before we start, I'm going to preheat my heat press. It's preheated to 160 degrees, and I'm going to close it for 120 seconds to really have the lower plate and everything heated up before, because this is really important for the job we're going to do. So in preparation, I'm going to take one of my A foils, which I'm going to print, and cover it with the B paper. I fold it over the edge so that I have it a little easier in the separation, and I'm going to put it on top of the A foil with the yellow lines facing up. The same I'm going to do with the second one. This time a sole white print, a sheet of B paper, fold it over the edge, cover it up, and stack it on top of that. So now we've got 2. So we're doing one more. Take another one, another sheet of B paper, put that one here, printed side, matte side facing up, fold over the edge. So now we've got 3, and we're going to try one more, one of the colored ones. Put it down, take a B sheet. So in contrast to what we do in our other videos, we're doing 4 at a time instead of 1. You can do the A and B transfer with 90 seconds or with 120 seconds. We usually do it with 120 seconds because that's kind of giving the glue a little more time to melt into the toner and have a good separation. So instead of taking one of these sheets to the heat press at a time, press it together, then separate it, we're going to take all 4 of them to the heat press at the same time. This also all comes down to the build and quality of your heat press. I'm using a very standard clamshell auto-open heat press, so I might be able to do 4, maybe 5 at a time. But if you're using, let's say, a more heavyweight professional swing-away heat press, you'll be even able to do 5, 6 or 7 at a time. And this way, instead of doing 1 at a time for 120 seconds, you're doing 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 in 120 seconds, really speeding up your printing game. So I just pull out my tray. Now the lower plate is really hot, and I put all of these, which I've stacked together, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I put all of these together on my heat press. I put it in the middle of the press. I'm using my 5 to 8 sheets of standard A3 copy paper to cover it up as usual, and then I'm going to close my heat press. I'm using quite some heavy pressure here because I've got multiple sheets and I want the heat and the pressure to work through all these sheets together. So now we're going to wait for 1 minute, 120 seconds, so 2 minutes, sorry, and then we open the heat press and we're going to separate the A and Bs one at a time on the hot plate of the heat press. Once the time is up, we open up the heat press, we remove the copy paper, and now we're peeling 1 at a time, giving it a quick wipe, and then we just, as usual, lift up the B paper and then in a smooth and constant motion peel it off, and you can see that the toner has adhered perfectly to the A sheet. Slow down at the edges a little bit to have a nice rollout. So you take the first one and then you just repeat the process for the second one, just as I'm doing it here. Smooth and constant motion, little slowing down to the edges, staying smooth. All right. Roll it out really nicely. All right, and the second one, and now the third one. Same process here, different design. All right, this is why it's so important that the lower plate of the heat press is hot, because the bigger the temperature difference between the pressing and the peeling gets, the more there is a risk that the separation of the A and B goes wrong at some point. And this is then exactly when you don't get a nice transfer and you actually can't get it right. So second one, and last but not least, the third one. Again, the box fit design we had before. And even that one, which had, of course, the lowest heat exposure because it was the underlying thing, because I preheated my lower plate pretty well, peels nicely. Okay, as you can see, we get it all done. Right, slow down at the edges as usual. And there you go. So with this press and temperature, I would say 4 is the maximum that you can do at a time, but you could also do more if you have another heat press. So now I've got all my 4 A sheets here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim them, and I'm also going to do this all at the time, just stack them up, and I'm quickly trimming the edge to remove some excess waste glue which could stick to the edges from the B sheet, okay? So quickly cut around the edge. And this is a really nice way for you to really speed up your printing game a little bit, to be quicker, especially if you have bigger printing jobs going. So that makes it for you really easy to speed it up a little bit for you in the process. Okay. Once I've trimmed all the edges, I can start pressing it. For today, I've got 2 t-shirts and 2 bags that I'm going to do. As usual, I'm giving the t-shirt, the textile here, a little pre-press. First to iron it out, and second to remove any excess moisture that might be in the garment. You can sometimes see some steam coming up at the sides if the garment had some moisture. This time it's totally fine. Just quickly, a few seconds. I always use a sticky lid roller to remove anything I don't want to have in the area of my design, just making sure that everything is nice and clean. And then I use my first design. As usually, I love it with the A-foil. You can actually align your design the way you want it. Could you speed up this as well? Of course you could. You could use a second textile and put it on top of it, but because this is kind of thick cotton, I wouldn't recommend doing that, because on cotton you press 30 seconds anyways, and if I would cover it up, I might not get a good transfer and don't want to risk to ruin my t-shirt here. So I quickly press it for 30 seconds and then I can let it cool down. This is also a process that you can repeat. So while the first t-shirt cools down, the second t-shirt can be pressed and so on, so you can really get a nice workflow going, making one shirt at a time once you've got all your B sheets ready. This is usually the way we work, so we usually print multiple A foils, then we do the A and B transfers either stacked or single depending on what we want to do, and then we do all the A's so you can get a really nice workflow going. So that was 30 seconds, open up the heat press. Just remove the parchment paper and just put this t-shirt on the side to cool down. I'm just laying it flat on the design so that it can cool down. And in the meantime, I'm doing the second t-shirt. Same process here as shown before. Quick pre-press to see if some steam comes up, if some moisture is in the garment. Align your design, parchment paper on top, 30 seconds pressing, and then you're ready for the next one. I'm quickly cleaning up my workspace and then we do the other 2 ones. Okay, 30 seconds, time is up. Same here, I remove the t-shirt and I lay it flat down on the design to let it cool down. And now I'm doing my cotton bags. These are very thin cotton bags, so this time I'm going to try to press 2 at a time. You could do that in 2 ways. You could either have them side by side, first one, second one, but that usually doesn't help with getting the design aligned in the middle. So I'm stacking these, but I'm pressing a little longer, maybe 45 to 50 seconds. Okay, same here, I'm giving them a pre-press, immediately putting the second one on top of it and pre-pressing it as well. Now I also get a glimpse of the pressure that I need, so I need to adjust my heat press a little bit, taking away some pressure so that I can close my heat press, because I'm pressing 2 garments at a time. Okay, that should be good. Now, sticky lid roller on the first one, quickly. All right, take the first design, align it the right way, cover it up. This time you don't need parchment paper in between and on top, because you just basically use it to protect the plate of your heat press. And then you close it, and now we're going for, as I said, 45-50 seconds to get the job done. I open the heat press and I remove the parchment paper. Usually you can see if the job worked if you hold up your garment and you see that it sticks, right? And then the only thing you have to do is you have to wait and be patient before you peel it off. Same here, it sticks, so I think we got it working really nicely. So there's different ideas how you can actually cool down your design. I'm just giving you like 3. So the first, of course, is you can just stack your t-shirts somewhere in your workplace and just wait, maybe overnight or just a couple of hours doing some other jobs, maybe answering emails, answering customer calls or whatever. So that's the first one, and then just peel it off. It doesn't matter if it cools too long, so there's no too long in cooling. Second is, you can actually use a stack of paper, for example, a stack of like copy paper or B papers, and wipe over the design. Because the paper is cool, you can also use catalogs, copy paper, literature, maybe some magazines or whatever you have laying around, and just wipe over the design, because what the paper does, it kind of sucks the heat out of the design. We use that on trade shows quite a lot. When we want to speed up the process, we use some of our catalogs and wipe over it, and that actually really sucks the heat out of it. But I only would recommend that if you really need a speedy process. If you've got the time doing something else, you just wait until it's cooled down. And the third tip is, if you live in a cool area, or if it's like cold outside because it's winter, you can actually just open a window and have it laying next to the window so that the cool air kind of flows into the room over the design and cools it off. That's more or less the third one. A similar one is actually to have some metal desk or metal plate or stone plate. Let's say you're working from home and you're in the kitchen and you have a stone plate on your kitchen top, right? So you always recognize when you put your hands on that stone plate, it's kind of cool, isn't it? So that's perfect to lay the design face down on your kitchen top if it's a stone plate, because the stone will also take the heat and suck it in, and therefore you will have the design cooled down really quickly. So I think we all started off with that design down here because that feels the coldest. I'm going to put the others to the side to let them cool down further. And I'm going to start peeling. So these were the last two, the bags, which I did 2 in 1. That was the second one. It's almost cold yet, but I'll still leave it here. And that was the first one we actually did, I guess. Quickly fanning it a little bit. And then for the peeling, as usual, you start at one of the edges, you fold over the edge, and then you do the rolling motion, which I described in many other videos, which I'd like you to check out. You roll over the design in kind of a rolling motion, and as you can see, the transfer comes off nice and clean, and you get a really nice complete transfer with the shiny finish that we are used to, but we will get to that in a minute. I can now peel the second one on top of it. If you do peeling, I always recommend have an even workspace where you can, really perform that rolling motion with some pressure. I do it with my hand, using a little bit of my body weight. That really helps to get the job done nice and good. So now the third one. This quite warm still, so I put that to the side. Take this one. Yeah, that one does feel good. Right, fold over the edge, perform that rolling motion. There you go. Sometimes what you see here, this can happen. That's just a little line from the B paper. You can easily get that away before you do the last step, by just wiping over it with a cloth, and it will go away like that, just like that. But please do that just before you do the final pressing. This can sometimes happen if you haven't trimmed the edge nicely. So I will just quickly move over it, and then it will be done. And finally, the fourth one of all of our designs. Quickly roll over the edge in a smooth rolling motion. And now you've got the fourth one. We talked about this guy before. So as you can see, you can really easily just remove it with your finger scratching a little bit, but please do that before you do the finished pressing. All right, now after we've peeled all these guys, we can actually do the finishing press. Remember, finishing pressing is important not only to get rid of the shiny finish that we have right now, but also to make the print wash resistant, to get that washability that you want for your customers. For that, I'm going to stack them. This time I'm going to use parchment paper all the time because I want to protect the back of the garment, which is on top first, And second, I want every print to finish matte. So the matte finish paper is also available in the web store, ghostwhitetoner.com. By the way, if you like the channel, if you like these kinds of videos, please leave us a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button so that you get notified when we put out new videos with tips how to improve your transfer business, how to get faster using our white toner products. So that's the last one here. Again, you will have to adjust the pressure of your heat press a little bit. So I'm going to screw that up so that I can have all these 4 garments fit under my heat press. And I'm going to finish press. Usually for cotton we do 15 to 20 seconds, something like that, or 10 to 30, something in that range is totally okay. While I'm now doing 4 at a time, I'm just giving it 45 seconds to really have the heat move through all these layers. Remember, the heat comes from the top and then it goes through the first parchment paper, first garment, second, third and fourth, until all the 4 garments have reached some of the heat to really get the washability. So what is this process good for? As you can see, we've done 2 bags and 2 t-shirts, 4 textile items in quite a quick time. This is really helpful if you have larger jobs done with your white toner printer from Ghost, or if you just want to speed up your printing game a little bit, if you're doing promotional items, things like that. If you liked the video, again, please leave us a thumbs up. I'm now opening the heat press and we're going to have a look how that worked out. I can slowly remove the parchment paper and you can see already a super nice matte finish on the first one. And same here, super nice matte finish on the second one. I use kind of a rolling motion to get the parchment paper off. And now we're getting the bags. Really good matte finish on the back as well, and the last bag. Same here, really nice matte finish. That's what I really love about toner transfer, is that it almost feels and looks like screen print, really giving you a nice, super cool matte finish. It's very durable, very stretchable. You can put it into the washing machine, and it also works on different kinds of fabrics. So this fabric here has a little stretch in there, so it's a pretty stretchy cotton fabric, while this is a very strong cotton fabric and it works as well. Check out our other videos. We've done videos on how to print on glassware, how to print on mugs, how to print on wood, and even how to print on balloons that are filled with gas. So that's really cool. I say thanks for watching. Hope you can step up your printing game. Let us know in the comments below what you think, and we look forward to see you next time here on the channel.